living in it. Most people confuse empathy with sympathy. Sympathy is feeling sorry for the person and their plight. They may even give them some money, which is more for the person's ego, who gives the money rather than truly helping the person. This is designed to make the giver feel better about themselves. Empathy is a much stronger feeling. It's an emotion that encompasses all the emotions that the other person is experiencing. This is a connection and a feeling of oneness. All right, Ray, so how are we doing there?
All right, just ask them to type something in the feed so make sure we can see the questions.
Okay, and do ask your questions. Today, Veronica asked a question and left it on the post, all right? And Veronica asked, or she didn't really ask this, but this is what she said in the post. It was very, very interesting. I love how the guides dive deeply into what empathy is and how it generates the connection with others and all that is. This is an insight for me because although I am empathic, there are times when I resist it or try to protect myself from going there because I have become depleted by doing it so much. All right? Now, I think if I look at it just as it is, a connection to the oneness, that doesn't have to be debilitating. And that is true. It's when you just allow yourself to be connected to the other person, connected to the situation, connected to the environment. You get all the information you need about what's going on. You get the truth about what that is. And the reason that that's so is because you're connected. You're connected to your guides. You're connected to your higher self. You're connected to all that is, like Veronica said. And it's all in the connection. When you are connected, there's no more work. There's just no more work. You're one with the situation. You're not separate from it. When you're separate from anything, that's when it becomes a struggle. And that's when your life becomes a struggle. So it's not about not wanting to be, too close to the situation, or you don't want to get involved, or, that kind of thinking. The minute you do that, the minute you resist, it persists, right? It doesn't help the situation. It's not the answer. So, Ray, what do we have?
We have Veronica and Joy and Miriam and Jane and Rebecca and Anna May.
And do we have questions?
Well, I asked them to type something into the feed so we can see if we can see the questions, but only Veronica did, and Carmel too.
Okay.
Please type something into the feed, each one of you, so we know we're getting the
write anything in there, because Ray needs to make sure that we've got an interaction here. All right. And while we're at it, ask your questions about the empathy. Another part of the session today, I talked about how I grew up in a family without empathy. They considered empathy sissy stuff. Most of society reinforced that. This attitude made living in this world harder than it needed to be. As a kid, I found it hard to believe that no one seemed to realize this. It was a paranoid, cynical mindset from the 1950s, one that was mostly judgmental and disconnected. Now technology is our connection. It has no feelings and has become our new normal. To most people, empathy is a feeling they feel they can safely indulge in when they watch a news story or a movie. But if it gets any more personal than that, it makes them feel uncomfortable. I think this is the part where Veronica was referring to, where it can feel depleting. But if it feels like that, you guys, if it feels depleting, it's not empathy. Okay, you're struggling with the situation. You're trying to. You're really not making the connection. Okay, When you connect with somebody, you're present, you're in it. You're not, gullible. You're not, drowning in their situation, but you feel it and you know what it's like. And God forbid, should you find yourself in a situation like it somewhere in your life, then you'll have a baseline, you'll have an understanding, not just from that person, but from how you digested it, from how you connected with that situation, that person, that environment, that job, that relationship, that whatever it happens to be. It's all a connection. You're either connected and present and out of struggle, or you're not, and you're not present and you struggle. So one would almost think that, well, if I connect with the situation, I have to, I'm going to feel all this. It's going to be awful. No, it's not. It's natural to connect. When you were a child, you automatically connected with your environment and the people around you. That's why they called you a sponge. You were consuming. You were pulling everything in and trying to learn it and get it, and you couldn't get it fast enough. That kind of feeling. All right. So that's the natural you. That's the real you. The one who's here now, the one who tries to protect itself a lot. All right. That's not how you make that connection.
Okay, we got a couple of questions.
Great.
An observation and a question from Jane.
Oh, great, Jane.
She's having a conflict with a client. He's very demanding, disrespectful, seems not to care about how mean he is to his employees or to her. Why is he like this, and how can she deal with him based upon
this subject matter about
the empathy or the sympathy?
Doing it in a way that's truthful and honest from you, okay? Not where you feel like you're trapped and you're just reacting, all right? But really getting this. And here, your spirit guides and angels are here with us now, Jane, and they're going to advise what you need to do here, and here they go.
Jane, when someone is demanding and overbearing and disrespectful, it's hard to have sympathy for them, and maybe even harder to have empathy. Although you don't feel sorry for him and the way he acts, you do have some semblance of empathy for maybe why he does it. Is he having personal problems at home? Has he been ill? Is he just highly strung and wants to micromanage everything? You could try talking to him one-on-one and telling him how you feel when he does this, that you'd like to be able to work with him without all the stress, and ask him to change. This would show empathy for his situation, but not let you continue to be a victim of it. If he doesn't change, you could just work for someone else, find a new project. Don't threaten him, but let him know he's making it impossible for you to work with him and many of the others. He may see what he's doing is wrong and change. But most people would get angry at him when he's angry, or short with him when he's short as a manager. Nobody can help him when you act just like him.
Right. You can. The message there is you can't help somebody by going where they're at. Okay? That's not how it's done. You have to not take it personally, and I know that's not easy, all right? But you have to overcome that urge, or that feeling that you've been defeated, or that it's overpowering you. You have to not let that happen and observe this out here. Keep it away from you. Look at it out there and not take it personally, so you can communicate this intelligently and concisely. In other words, don't drag it out. Just make your point. Be calm when you do it. He's not used to that. Okay, so he just might hear it. Okay, Jane.
Okay, Anna May. She'd like to know why she has so much empathy for people that she shouldn't have and always seems to trust the wrong types.
Anna May, dagnabbit. Okay,
Don't do that anymore.
We're going to have only your guides know what you're talking about more than anybody, because they're with you all the time, and your spirit guides and angels are here with us now. They're going to tell you about that, and here they go.
Are you sure you are having empathy for these people? Or do you just feel sorry for them, and that's the way you look at them? It's obvious you are a very sensitive person, but you can't help them by being around them and having them drag you down. You can't go where they are and expect to feel any different than they do. You want to not commit to agreeing with them or disagreeing with them when you are around them. Just don't talk, or say, "That's interesting," or "I never looked at it that way." But don't give them a definitive answer, because most in the group are just looking for who's on their side.
Okay, so again, it comes back down to staying objective, observing what's going on. Don't get pulled into it. And really what will happen after a while, Anime, is you will, if they don't make adjustments and they don't realize, if they don't self-realize, that's really what it comes down to. None of us are here to preach to anybody or get them to do something because, it's supposed to be a good thing to do. They're either getting it or they're not. And there may come a point where you just go, I can't wait another 20 years for you to get it or something, and I just don't want to be around it anymore. Something will shift and something will change. But start with what the guides talked about to get you moving on your yellow brick road to honoring who you are, all right?
Okay, Miriam, I was looking here and you were still talking.
Delay.
20-second delay. Okay, Miriam says, how do you empathize with someone who's always swirling into their negative emotions?
Okay, again, the guides are going to talk to you about this, Miriam, your guides. But I'm going to tell you that it's not about them. That's really what I'm going to say here.
Yeah, her question or comments kind of like the next one. Rebecca says, "What do you have? What if you do have empathy for others, but when you're around them, they drain all your energy out of you?"
Okay, we're going to let you
So these are kind of like negative people.
Yeah. Just remember, both of you, that you are participating in that negativity that they are in some way. That's why it hurts you. That's why you're asking these questions. And your guides, both of your guides are here, and they're going to talk to both of you about this. Okay, and here they go.
These people who are always so negative, or when you are around them, drain your energy, are working on their own agenda. Whether you feel sorry for them or empathize with them, you won't change them. They are causing you to feel badly when you're around them. The idea is to understand they are not going to change, and secondly, that you must spend less time around those types of people.
Period.
Yeah.
Okay, and again, it puts you on your yellow brick road. This is not the be-all, end-all, the one answer, the goal, all right? This is about starting the journey of a healthier choice in your lives. There's something that happened in your lives, you guys, where you kept picking the same thing and drawing it back to you, and you didn't know what you were doing. Okay, so how do you stop it? You break that old habit. You break it. You catch yourself. I have to tell you, you've got to take the journey in part 2 of My Guided Journey to really see that little girl that originally took that information in and compromised and let it slide and put yourself second instead of realizing how important you were, all right? This is how it's going to happen. You're going to bring yourself back. We're going to start a program here, you guys, in the next week or so, 10 days, where I'm going to start doing live Facebook Lives, helping those who have purchased My Guided Journey and are working through chapter 1 through 18 in part 2, and help you work through each one of those. And like the one you're having the most trouble with right now, you bring it to me, and we're going to work through it. And it's going to be a free coaching session with me right there on Facebook Live, so other people that have the journal can learn, can connect with that, okay? And really start honoring that part of themselves that you did. You used to have it. And you're just going to remember yourself back into existence. All right? Remember yourself back.
Okay. Jane says, thank you. That was very clear. Anna Mae says, I just left a relationship that he was trying to make me feel sorry, and I was disrespected, and I was disrespecting him because I would agree with him, and he wouldn't listen to how I felt.
Yeah. You know, the hardest thing to do is to listen. It's even the hardest thing to do is to listen and be quiet and calm so you can hear the guidance, okay? Just like listening to somebody else. It's practice, you guys. We're learning a new way of being. We don't have to shout our way through our lives, you know, to be heard.
Okay. Yeah, and again, like the guys just said, if you don't respond to somebody, if they're trying to argue with you or they're trying to disrespect you, or the natural response is to fight back.
It is the natural response. Ray's right.
But if you don't say anything, they don't know what to say. They don't know if you're agreeing with them, you're arguing with them. Anything.
Okay, so here's the point. Do not engage.
Right.
Okay, that's what the guides are basically telling all of you so far. To summarize it, do not engage with that negativity. Observe it, be quiet, Let yourself practice calmness in the middle of the heat of the moment, the middle of the storm. Let yourself practice that, because that's where you stay connected with your guidance and you get the best information, not from those people out there. All right.
Okay. So Miriam says, thank you. I always want to run away from people when I feel their negative energy and I don't like it. So
yeah, and Miriam, let's clear that up. I'm not going to let you call it running away. I'm going to let you call it, because you can't run away from it. I talk about that in Guided. I couldn't run away as many times as I tried. It's about pulling away. It's just sitting back, getting calm, collecting yourself, breathing, and stay connected. Watch what happens. You guys are going to be surprised. When you practice this and you see the result of this, what comes up for you guys, write it in part 3. Write down what the situation was, what you did, how it made you feel, what you realized, and the action you took, and the result of that. All right? That's why this journal is important. You're going to see it for yourself. What do we have?
okay, Rebecca says, first of all, Miriam says thank you. And Anime says, awesome. Thank you. That was an awesome thank you. That was 2 thumbs up.
See, this is race. Yeah, we like those. Okay.
Okay. And Rebecca, hi Rebecca, she says she's had to pull herself away from family members because of the negativity they keep trying to drag her into.
I know, and I know that's been a problem for you, Rebecca. You have reached out to me on several occasions about this. And you know what? You keep working through it. I know sometimes it feels like you're not getting anywhere, because I know how it feels to be in it. I really do.
Well, I think it's especially hard when it's family members, because
It really
you
is.
grew up with them,
Yeah.
so you got indoctrinated into them pulling you into the negative energy, and now you're older and you feel you can't get away from it. They still want to keep you in that circle of
Chaos.
pain. Yeah, circle of chaos and pain.
Perfect.
They're in pain for some reason.
And that's why they keep trying to find somebody else to lay it on, because it's too much for them to carry. Okay? And when you just don't give them that basket to drop into, they have to do the pain. Until the pain gets bad enough, you guys, for these people, will they make a change? Will they shift? Will they be even open to it? All right?
If they're family or if they're friends or whatever, if you came right out and told them one time, you can't take the pain anymore yourself. If you just came out and told them, I'd like to spend more time with you if it didn't make me feel so bad when I left.
Yeah. And you just have to say it calmly. Whatever you do, you've got to practice your communication style. Write what you are going to tell them in part 3. Write it down first. And once you take the time, you take the moment to write down how you're going to talk to this person, so you're level-headed and it's intelligent what comes out. It's not a repeat of the chaos and drama going on around you from them all the time, so it fits into that format. No, you're going to bounce out of it, all right? And you're going to talk to them in a way that's so clear. They're going to just look at you and go, what did you just say? They're going to listen. They're going to listen, and if they don't listen, and they don't listen, and they don't, you guys, you need to listen. You need to go back and see what you wrote and how it bothered you and how you tried to address it and how you talked to them and how you had empathy for them and what you did to go, to once again drive it in without being pulled in, and you did it again. And once you see all the efforts you've made and they still won't move your way at all, that's not a relationship. And if people say, well, it's family, Linda, well, you know what? I personally, I don't need that kind of family. I can't, expand and grow and be who I am and safe in that type of environment. So, you make a choice is what you wind up doing. And then you make some plans. You plan your way into, a better choice. That's what it comes down to. Yeah. All this stuff that we talk about and all these things that the guides bring through and talk to you guys about, it takes, ultimately, it's not, none of it's any good. If you wrote it down and then you talked about how it felt, which is critical, and then you talked about what you realized, but then the final step, what action did you take? And if you didn't take any action, time and time again, then it's no good to you.
That's your pattern. Your pattern won't let go of you.
Right. It's still hanging on by a thread.
Right.
Okay. And you have to sever it. You've got to take that chance and take that dive. Okay. And go into it and start practicing this instead of what's going on all around you that's not conducive to your highest and best good. Right.
Okay. So why is it so hard with family compared with other friends? Let's say you had a group of friends that like to get together every once in a while and all go out together, and they always stuck you with the bar bill, all right, or the food bill, and they did it every time. I mean, you're upset about that. You don't want to go out with them anymore. You don't want to be around with them because of what they do to you. So why is it easier to get away from your friends like that than your family when they do stuff to you that's even worse?
You know, so why is the connection, I'd say it this way, is it because the connection is stronger with family than it is with friends? Okay, why is it stronger with family? Especially when you've given them an opportunity to fix this time and time again, 10 years later, 20 years later, and they're still not, in fact, they're worse than they've ever been. It's not going to happen. And sometimes being the leader, the one that says, that's all, no more. I'm not coming for Thanksgiving anymore. I'm not coming for Christmas. I don't want to be around you people. You people don't make me feel good. And I'm going to pass on it. And I don't mean to hurt your feelings, but you want to know the truth? I just told you the truth. Again, it comes back down to truth and love. You do it with love. You do it with empathy, with compassion. You don't want to hurt them. They're hurt enough. But you can't live in it. Just say, I can't do this. I just can't do this anymore. And I've been doing it for so long, So you have to know when to cut your losses at anything. I don't care if it's an investment, a relationship, a family member, a job that used to be great and it doesn't work anymore. You've got to be able to course correct as you move along. And I promise you, throughout all of this, your guides are giving you guidance. They're speaking to you. But you have to be present. You have to calm down. You can't get pulled into it. You've got to see it for what it is. You have to observe what's going on around you. You've got to write it down. Okay.
Okay, two things. Rebecca says, well, it's because we have to be loyal to family. Okay. I don't know where that's written, but is that one of the 10 Commandments? You must be loyal to your family? They're
counting on it.
It's your bloodline.
Okay. And I know you read Guided, Rebecca. So, they pushed it as far as they could. They were never going to stop. All right. I've had some evidence lately that showed up about these characters in Guided, and they're not going to stop at all.
They're worse than they were 30 years ago when you left.
I think they are. Maybe I got better. I'm open on that one. I'm not quite sure what's what, but
they haven't grown.
They haven't grown.
They're still angry.
Right, exactly. So, and that is where a lot of this comes from. It's painful to be angry. It hurts, and it's hard to carry all by yourself. So they look for somebody who's, empathic, somebody who's compassionate, and they seek you out, and they go right in there, and they really need you to agree with them. Don't do that.
Okay, some interesting comments. First comment, a couple comments here saying the same thing, and I noticed it too, Veronica, that I'm watching the screen, I'm watching the monitor, and Linda you are flashing different colors. You are turning different colors and lights coming through you.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. It's
magical.
Like, oh, do that again. Magical. Oh, there it is. Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, you're going to have to watch this. This is good. Okay, Nigel says, once I saw a ghost and it laughed at me, and I was upset because of how rude that ghost was.
Now, did you really think that entity, let's say, laughed at you? Maybe that entity laughed with you, loved being around you so much. It was, you noticed they were there, and they were excited and happy for it. Maybe that's what it was, Nigel.
You always ask them, what? 3 things. Who are you? Why are you here?
Right.
And what do you want?
What do you want? Right. Say it again, Ray.
Who are you? Why are you here? And what do you want?
Right.
How can you help them?
Right. A lot of times they're just stuck between worlds, and you can say just a few simple things to move them on their way, and they're fine.
Okay. Devonna Roberts says, I have had to love a family member from afar because we struggled and fought for so long that it caused me to lose herself.
Yeah. You just, that's a situation where, what's her name, Ray? Devonna. That's where you're pushed to your limit. I mean, you can't sit in it anymore. You can't sit on the fence. You have to either go all in or move on. That's what Devonna did. It got so hard for her that she had to make that choice. You guys, if it can't be solved, if it just keeps hurting you, it keeps holding you back, all right? You've got to make a choice. If you're here to get done what you came here to do. Otherwise, that person will just use up your life, and they will, I don't know, it'll never get resolved, if they just keep doing this pattern and you keep tolerating it.
And here, something dawned on me that why it's so tough with family, because family uses guilt to keep you stuck. They'll try it. You just have to figure out. See, if guilt is one of those things, in part 2 of my guided journey, when you take that journey back and you visit those early parts in your life where that guilt was implemented, where that shame was injected, where before you even knew it, you were just a little kid going, you didn't know. And you wanted everyone to get along. You had the pure heart. And the pure heart is still there. You have to go back to that pure heart and see what that child really experienced, what locked them down, and solve it. Write it in your journal, that part, and write it all out so you can fully flush it out, and you will no longer be a victim of that, okay? It's like being frozen in time. And everybody can count on it. They can count on pulling on those strings because it works every single time, You got to break that for yourself. Okay. So Devonna said, yes, I would exhaust myself and remained in that situation for so long because she felt obligated and she had to give herself permission to let go and finally walk away from it.
There's the guilt Ray was talking about.
Yeah.
There's the guilt.
Especially if you came from a larger family and you got along very well with half of them, and there was only the other half you didn't go along with. You wanted to be there for family things because you really liked being around these 3, maybe your siblings, but you didn't like to be around.
The price was too high.
Yeah, it never balances out.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what, you guys, this life isn't perfect. We come in here to learn all this kind of stuff. It's a karmic ride we're on, the merry-go-round dream. And we're all here to intermingle with each other. You picked all these characters to play it out this time around, and they were going to be your best teachers, all right? Not the easiest thing, maybe, but definitely your best teachers.
Okay, no more new questions.
Okay, you guys, so what we're going to do, so good to have you guys with us tonight. I'm going to move into what is going on before we close the session with the guides, closing message to all of you. I'm going to talk about what we're going to be doing next week. But first, I'm going to bring up, if you would like to learn how to channel your spirit guides just like we do, join our exclusive Facebook group, Ask the Universal Channel. In this group, you will receive free lessons and free channeled readings from the students of Ask the Universal Channel. And this Thursday at 6 p.m. on Ask the Universal Channel, you have to ask to join, all right? Just ask to join, and Ray will send you the instructions. And you will be able to get a free reading from the students of Ask the Universal Channel. And then Veronica has Zoom, just like this, and it has 2 classes set up each week, one on Wednesdays and one on Sundays. So you can come in for free and learn to do this just like she has and some of the other students have. You never know who's going to show up. It's always awesome. All right.
It is.
So, so consider that. Okay, so before the guides bring through their closing message for tonight, we want to let you know about next Tuesday, March 19th. Join Linda live right here on Facebook. This will be a Q&A and commentary with Linda and her guides at 6 p.m. Pacific, so don't miss it. In Linda's weekly guided insights, the guides will be talking about the power of why. The secret to learning to communicate with us, they're talking about the guides here, is your ability to form why questions. You must be cautious not to ask leading questions like yes or no questions, what about, when, or any question where you already have an outcome in mind. Everyone uses leading questions when they first start communicating with us. That's interesting. You have been conditioned to not want to hear anything bad. The truth is not bad. So rather than being open to the truth, you avoid why questions, so you get the answers you want to hear. This is how you have been tricking yourself all these years. It's also how you lost your connection to us, your guides.
I can see that.
So that's going to be next week. And, this thing with why, if you join the group, Ask the Universal Channel, you're going to find out all about that. And it's the key, the magic word, why, that you want to use when you ask your guides anything, especially when you first learn to start doing that, all right?
You came in doing that.
As
a new person.
We all did. We all came in. What was the child? The child was relentless with one word. What was it?
Why, Daddy? Why this? Why that? What about, why this? Why is that like that?
Yeah, they never stopped asking why. Well, we come in equipped with that Y chromosome, and it's brilliant. It's intelligent. It's the right thing to ask.
They don't have any perspective on anything else other than why. They don't have a how perspective. How did it work the last time?
Right.
Or when is it going to work like that
again? A basis of comparison.
Right.
They don't already have something in their minds.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's what it makes you do. It makes you move out of that and get right into the why. That's where the answers are, you guys. Just as soon as you think up a question, a why question, you'll start to feel the answer coming through. Your guides are always communicating with you. So that's what next week's going to be about. Don't miss it. We'll see you guys next week.
How about an ending?
All right, that's right. See,
I caught you there. I was so mesmerized watching you flash on and off here. You have to teach me how to do that. That's cool.
Okay, so living in a world without empathy, and we're going to let the guides close the session. And thank you for catching me, Ray. Mm-hmm. He catches me all the time.
I do.
All right, and here they go.
You may find yourself being sympathetic, but that doesn't help the other person change, you may find yourself being empathetic and putting yourself in their shoes, but maybe not be able to feel what they feel totally. It's only in understanding what the other person is going through and why they are going through it that you can help them. Don't try to guess why they are like how they are. You must observe silently and then listen for the clues they will tell you that hide their emotions. Many times you cannot change their pattern because you don't understand the depth of it. If that happens, just back away and look at yourself to see if there are any patterns you have that keep getting in the way.
Yeah, what they're saying here is look in the mirror. Use it as a mirror. Use it to examine yourself, to see what needs an adjustment, needs a course correction, what it's reflecting back to you that you need to pay attention to. There's always something there, you guys. And you may not like what you're looking at. You may look at it and go, oh, please, it's not what I wanted to look at. I didn't want to see that.
It may be even too painful for you.
Write it in part 3. My journal writing. Write it there. No one's going to see it. Take it out of here. Put it in here. The proof. It's something you refer back to later on, so you can, once you feel that feeling again, you can go back and re-examine it. It's different when it's on paper. Okay?
Okay.
Now we'll see you guys next week.
Everybody says thank you. Miss Deir flashing, how cool is that? LOL. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out how that's happening. You have a lot of energy coming off you. In fact, I'm gonna post a picture after tonight of one day. So one time all this energy was coming out of you through me.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
That was when we got married. Amazing.
That was at our wedding reception.
It was our reception, Ray. Okay, we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Okay. Night, everybody.
Good night.